We're going to start off with Notre Dame, who has a really big advantage at quarterback, as Leonard is quite good. I wouldn't go as far as to call him a star level quarterback, but he is a very high level quarterback nonetheless, and is a much surer bet than Gunnar Stockton is, as Stockton's only taste of real college football came admittedly at a very high level in the SEC championship game against Texas, where he played, let's just say, not fantastically. I'll try to be diplomatic with it because I think that if you ask the average person, they would say he wasn't bad. I would say he was bad. So maybe we'll meet in the middle and say he was, somewhere between those two analysis. But with that said, I'm trusting Riley Leonard far more than I am Gunnar Stockton. The next advantage for Notre Dame is that they have a star running back in Jeremiah Love versus a bad coverage linebacker in CJ Allen. Allen will be targeted relentlessly if Notre Dame is able to, because Allen is not great at playing in space for coverage. And I think that Love would really be able to present problems to Allen if he can get him on basically any sort of route. If it's a short route, I like the short area quickness of Love. If it's a longer route, I like the route running and speed of Love. I like the matchup a lot, just in general. Shifting to the defense now, this is where Notre Dame is a lot stronger at. They only had 2 advantages for offense. They have more than that for defense. They have a sound pass rushing RJ Obin versus a mid pass blocking Monroe Freeling. Obin is not the greatest pass rusher, but he is definitely above average. And that is a good advantage when you're going against somebody that is average. I would say that Monroe is pretty close to being dead average as a pass protector, so that's a nice advantage for Notre Dame. What's also nice is that they have a quality nickelback in Jordan Clark versus a mid wide receiver in Dominic Lovett. Clark has the potential to eliminate Lovett from the game entirely, as Clark is a super good man coverage corner, and he has the advantage talent-wise, which that is more pronounced in man coverage than it is in zone coverage. So he runs the potential of just erasing entirely Lovett from this game. The next thing for Notre Dame is pretty similar. They have an above average Christian Gray versus a meh Dylan Bell. Gray can take away Bell in man coverage. Notre Dame has very good man coverage corners, and that is something that they like to put on full blast. They run just some of the most absurd rates of man coverage that you'll ever see for college or the pros. It's to the point that they'll be in like the 50% range, whereas most default man coverage rates would be around 25% or so. So they are really, really known to go into their man coverage bag. The next advantage for Notre Dame is that They only really have to watch Dominic Lovett and Dylan Bell, which is a very nice advantage because they do have the upper hand in these matchups. And if they are able to take out Lovett and Bell, that's really going to make things difficult for Georgia to have any sort of success through the air. The next advantage for Notre Dame is that Xavier Watts can erase any Georgia weapon. So that's another player for Notre Dame to help in the efforts of slowing down Lovett and Bell. If it seems like I'm really hammering home Lovett and Bell, it's because I am. They are the lifeblood of Georgia's offense. ETN is also, but he is not going to be as much of a passing threat as Lovett and Bell are. So Watts makes things a bit easier on Notre Dame because he can help with bracketing either of the two receivers. And he also has the potential to man up himself on one of them because he is very, very good in man coverage as well. So that is a nice chess piece to have for Notre Dame. The final advantage for the Irish is that Aiden Schuler can clamp any receiving option too. So they have two safeties that are capable of really making life difficult for the receiving options of Georgia. As we shift to the Georgia advantages, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, as I'll be pushing out more college and pro football content. And with that out of the way, Georgia has the advantage of possessing a good cornerback in Dalen Everett versus a below average wide receiver in Chris Mitchell. So they are going to be in a man coverage situation a good deal of the time. And that's a matchup that I see as being a bit 50-50. I think that Everett is the better player, but I think that he can struggle a little bit in man coverage from time to time, so that kind of balances it out a bit. If he's in zone and he's matched up against Mitchell, I like Everett quite substantially more. But if he's in man, I think it's going to be about 50-50. Either way, I'm going to take Everett's talent over Mitchell basically any day of the week. The next advantage for Georgia, in a bit of a swerve move, is the final advantage for Georgia, as they possess just two advantages. And the advantage for them is that they have a stud pass rusher in Jalen Walker versus a poor offensive tackle in Anthony Knapp. Walker is so good. He is capable of wrecking this game by himself, and that will be interesting to see if he does. He's going to get double teamed, I would say, quite often, which is difficult to do because Georgia does have a good defensive line as a whole. So it's hard to double team anybody because then that means somebody is left single teamed, and that is dangerous. But Knapp is going to need it because he is not up to the task of blocking Walker, I don't think. So, with that said, I think Jalen Walker is going to present a big problem, and he will be responsible for the entire success, basically, of Georgia's front, aside for him, because he's going to draw the attention of Notre Dame quite substantially. With this said, you can probably imagine where I'm leaning just based on the number of advantages that I described. And I'm surprised as anybody about this because initially when the spread came out, I thought to myself, wow, the bookmakers are wilding out and they are disrespecting Georgia. But then I looked into this game more and more, and I came out thinking more highly of Notre Dame as I did. I think that Notre Dame has the quarterback reliability. They have no holes on defense that will make the life of Gunnar Stockton rather difficult. And also, Stockton has limited weapons, so that's going to make things difficult for him as well. Those are my thoughts on the game. Be sure to let me know what yours are in the comment section. And also be sure to like and subscribe for more football content.